Whispers in the air, secrets everywhere. We turn it around, love in every sound. Words that twist and shout, no more fear or doubt. Change the way we feel, hearts begin to heal. Queens talk gossip, yeah, flip it all to play fair. Turning dark to bright, making wrong things right. Smiles behind the scenes, knowing what it means. Lift each other high, reach up to the sky. Spread the joy like fire, climbing ever higher. Every word a spark, lighting up the dark. Queens talk gossip, yeah, flip it all to play fair. Turning dark to bright, making wrong things right. Words that twist and shout, no more fear or doubt. Change the way we feel, hearts begin to heal. Queens talk gossip, yeah, flip it all to play fair. Turning dark to bright, making wrong things right.
Listeners, while we love to hear your thoughts and opinions, please remember that the views expressed by our audience members do not necessarily reflect those of the Queens Talk Gossip podcast team. We value diverse perspectives and encourage respectful discourse within our royal community. Cheers to lively discussions and keeping the crown classy.
Welcome everyone to Queen's Talk Gossip Podcast, where we flip the switch on negative gossip, turning it into positivity. And today we have an awesome show. I am so excited to have two awesome guests here with me. But before we start, I just want to say thank you to my live audience who are watching online, as well as some of the guests here out in the audience. So thank you so much for being here. We all appreciate you being here to support us. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me introduce my special guest co-host for tonight, Mr. Sherwin.
Hello. What's going on, everybody? Hey, Miss Malik. Hey, what's up, Zevel? How you doing? What's up, everybody?
Such an awesome time having you here. I am so excited to have you here. I had so much fun with you at the rally. I am expecting so much more fun here. It's going to be awesome. And without further ado, we have a very special guest. Mr. Sherwin, would you like to introduce him? Because it seems like you might know him very well.
You know what? He's a total stranger. I don't know who this is. No, I'm just kidding. He is so amazing, you guys. Look, Queen Lily, you booked a perfect guest for tonight because he is an OG in Horizon Worlds. You guys probably recognize him from some of his worlds like WP Studio and Penn Station. He is the host of Freestyle Friday. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on. So let's bring him out. The one and only Mr. WritersPen.
That is right. Hey.
WritersPen.
What's going on?
We are so excited to have you here tonight. Let me just turn off this music so people can hear us. It's wild in here. I like it loud. Yeah, I like it loud up in here. But I am so excited to have both of you guys here, especially Mr. WritersPen. I heard so much about you. I cannot wait to get to know you and just dig deep into what makes you. I'm super excited. Super excited.
Let's talk about it. No doubt.
Yes. But before we do have what we like to call an icebreaker. I do an icebreaker every show. It's to help us, get little loosey goosey is what they used to call it. I don't know what they call it now. But
we need to unwind because we might be tight, so we say we're tight, and we just unwind a little bit. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now, here is your guys' icebreaker for today. Everyone knows that it's almost spooky season, right? Almost spooky season. We're at that fall section. It's nice outside. It's getting awesome. Um, it's almost weather. I'm super excited for it. But here's one question we talked about already. um, what's your best and worst costume? What's your favorite candy? And now here's my one question for you guys. What is the one scary movie you have to watch for Halloween?
Ooh,
I know.
that's
Good
good.
question.
That's
Good
good.
question.
Yeah,
Do you
right.
know, Pen? Do you have an answer?
There's so many
Now you
movies.
know what.
He's
So
You know
many.
what.
thinking.
Look. You have to take that moment to pause and say, okay, you know what?
Right.
Which one? Guaranteed, if it would have been Christmas, I could have gave it to you easily. But
Oh,
if we're gonna
same.
run with Halloween, no
Hmm.
worries. Halloween definitely would say, got to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Got to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh,
Mm.
okay, okay. Now the original first one, or like the whole series.
Most definitely is going to be the series. You know why?
Okay,
Because
okay, okay.
they're going to play it on all channels. So I'm going to find it one way or the other. It's going to
True,
happen, and I'll sit there and watch. So definitely Nightmare on
true.
Elm Street. That was classic. That was
Okay.
classic.
Okay.
That is a classic. What about you?
Well,
What's
in terms of
yours?
a movie, I mean, I obviously want to say the classic, which is A Nightmare Before Christmas. But you know what I'm saying? That's a classic.
Yes,
But I
that's a
will
big classic.
say, more recently, the movie that they just did, Friday night, Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually really liked that movie. I don't know about you guys. I actually liked it. So I might
Is
bring
that
it
the
back
one
for
with the
Halloween
guy,
this year
the guy that
in the
played Scoob
pizzeria. Yes,
Scooby?
the Chuck E.
I
Cheese. It's
I
the
loved,
the haunted
yes,
Chuck E. Cheese. Yes.
haunted Chuck E. Cheese. You know, they're
Yeah, I
off
would say that's a
topic
good
just a
one.
little bit. You know that the guy who played in that movie, the guy who
Hmm.
originally played Shaggy off the like live action Scooby Doo, they're making another Scooby Doo,
Okay.
Why
another
not?
live action Scooby Doo. You know how excited I am
See,
for that.
I remember
That's my
him
like,
from the Hunger Games. He was the guy from the Hunger Games. You remember the Hunger Games? That's the same guy, I
no.
think. Yeah, that's the same guy. I think it is. If I'm right. I think it's the same guy. I gotta
Oh, you're
look at it.
talking. Yes, yes, he
Yeah,
plays
you know what I'm
Peter.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the main guy. It's the same guy in that
Yes,
movie. Yep. Uh-huh.
yes.
So,
It's kind
different
of funny
genre,
because
but hmm
when at the Hunger Games is pretty old at this point. We're
hmm
way off topic, but it's totally okay. Um, you know how many girls had a huge crush on the guy who plays Peter just because of
Right.
and
I
then
remember when Twilight came out, it was like a team I forgot their names. Team Edward
it was World
versus
War Three,
yes,
100%.
that was a big
Yes.
deal back in the day. Yeah, that
True,
definitely
true,
Yes.
was.
true, true.
Do you
But one of the best
sparkle or do
Shaggies in the
you
world is
shed?
Bro Nina.
Yes. Oh my. I
Shout
just
out
gotta
Bro
clap.
Nina.
Shout out to Mr.
Hey.
Baronina. Unfortunately, Baronina is not here today because he actually got accepted to be in a haunted house for banter and for a VR chat. So we are super, super
Okay.
proud of him for being a part of that team and
Yes,
being able
sir.
to do his thing. Super, super excited.
I gotta
And
check
as
that
you
out.
guys, I know, me too, I love haunted houses.
Hmm.
And as you guys know, unfortunately, Miss Diva is not here with us today as well because she is still doing her rally. And once she is done, she's going to be back in here on her throne. And I'm super excited to have her back. But she's doing an awesome job doing her thing, rocking it
Yes.
up there. We're very proud of her. And as well as Captain Jack, he is also a part of a haunted house. What is with people in haunted
It's
houses this
Halloween
year?
season. You
It's
already
Halloween
know.
I
season. Come
know.
on. You know it.
I
Yep.
It's gonna be
know.
a takeover.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I think my favorite Halloween movie that I 100% always have to watch on Halloween is It.
Good
Oh.
deal. Good deal. Good deal.
Mhm. Is It. Yep.
Yep.
That or, if I want to
I
go
don't
with the
want to see
classic,
clowns.
true. True. I hate clowns. I hate clowns. But a classic one would definitely be um uh, oh crap. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Ooh,
I love
that's a
me
It's a
good
classic.
some
one.
Beetlejuice, and
Yes,
Very
um
much a classic.
yes,
yes.
I love it. Hello, hello.
Hi guys. You know what? I got
Hey.
excited when you said it. What's going on,
She
Paige?
got up out her
Yes.
seat. She heard
No,
it.
you know what? It made me think because my brother has this house on the corner and
Mhm.
his sewage, like the space is a little wide. And I told him he should get like a clown mask and somehow wedge it up in there to show like the clown's
That
face
would be awesome.
coming out of the sewer. So
Yo.
I told him, yeah, I'm gonna go to Party City this weekend and go see if I
Bro,
find it.
if you get him to
Sounds
do
that's gonna be
that, you
funny.
have to take a picture and
Yes.
find me and send it to me
Yes.
because I would love to see that. Okay.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Re-support.
Some kids are gonna have some nightmares this Halloween, Ms. Malik. That's all I can say. All right.
Hey, tell me this, since we're talking, since you mentioned it,
Mhm.
the book. I remember reading the book,
Yes.
and that was quite interesting. But the movie, like recently, that was actually
Mhm.
really good. So I'm actually the way they made that work. That was really
Now,
good. But the book was real in depth, so that was crazy.
I
Mm.
think the very first It movie was actually obviously back in the day. It was terrifying
Yeah,
because it just how it was made and how the person who played it just portrayed him so well. It was crazy. And the new one is
true.
even more wild with all the effects. But did you know they're making
That's
a
the
third?
yeah.
They're making a third one.
Mm.
Now I heard that, but I don't go too far. I
I
wait for
don't either.
trailers now because
Same.
I get excited and then I'm waiting and I'm like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
Right.
AI gets crazy now. So now you see things and you're like, is that coming out for real? You got to double
Hmm.
check and do your homework.
I know. I see us girls, and I'm sure we'll have some people out there that will say, "Oh, so true." We like to be detectives. Okay, we'll find out anything and everything. And
They will.
I did some digging, and I actually looked to obviously because it's one of my favorite Halloween movies, and I looked. And it's kind of funny because I absolutely hate clowns, not because I'm scared of them, just they're annoying to me. But it's okay. Um, they
There
have a
was a
job to
whole
do.
TikTok trend after when the movie came out of people dressing up in clowns and showing up to like different places in public and like did you ever see that trend of
No,
people dressing up? No. Yeah, there was like a
mm-mm.
whole trend. I actually think it made the local news in my area because they were like telling people to not do that because it was causing car crashes and stuff like that, like on the road.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
this world. I don't know if it was a worldwide like not pandemic, but like a uh
Good word.
I
Pandemic
forget.
is good.
Yeah,
Not a
yeah, it
pandemic,
was
but a
a thing.
pandemic.
Not a pandemic.
But I gotta find the. There we go. I'm still getting used to these buttons. Um, but there was a thing like the reason why there was that situation is because back in the day, I sound like I'm old. Um, there was a thing going on with people dressing up like clown costumes and attacking people, like hurting
Mhm.
people. And you would see people out there
Get
freaking
up,
out.
Bones.
Like at one point, I think at least I think in a couple of states they banned the clown
Mhm.
costume. Like you couldn't even wear a clown costume for Halloween because of those situations. And it's crazy how the world can be. Like it's wild to me that those
Mhm.
type of things are even a thing. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the
Movies can
wrong
really
era.
influence people like more than you think.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
It
Yeah.
is wild.
Hey, that's definitely true. Definitely true.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
But
But I loved that icebreaker. So thank you all so much for participating in my awesome icebreaker. Thank you as well for making some comments. We do love it. Anyone online or in the audience has any questions or comments, feel free to jot them down or come up to the mic and I'll be able to port you to the mic. We do have quite a few people watching online and they all say hello to both of you. So yay.
what's going on? How
Hello.
you doing? How are you? How are you? How are
What's
you?
going
Have a
on
great time.
online?
Yes.
Positivity over everything. Creativity over everything. Relax.
Oh
Have a good time.
yes.
Yeah.
Guaranteed worth your time.
100%. But you know what? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I am super excited to be able to get to know Mr. Writer's Pen. So, Mr. Writer's Pen, boop,
You don't have to
tell
call me
us.
Mister.
Hey.
I'm
Okay,
just writing
Writer's
pen.
Pen. Writer's
Or
Pen.
just call me Pen.
He's presidential
Pen.
pen. Hey.
Presidential Pen. There we
Pre-
go.
President of Horizon, but only because when you're good to people, then people are good to you.
Hey.
Hey,
But
let's
let's get to
go. All right, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you become on Horizons?
I came on the Horizon because actually my brother is super tech savvy, and he came on the Horizon and he was like, "Look, you should join." I was like, "Nah, it's okay." But I used to call him on a regular. I would call him on a regular and say, "Look, you need to listen to this verse." So I ghostwrite for a living, but I would call him 3 or 4 in the morning. When you got your brother, you do little things to get at him too. So I
Mhm.
call
Oh
him.
yeah.
I'm like, "You gotta listen to this verse." Like, look, I gotta get up in the morning, man. I don't want to hear this right now. But go ahead and let me hear it. So I would do that, and then he actually was like, "Look," he kind of duped me into it. That's the fun about family and brothers. So either way, he was like, "Look, I've been on the headset. You should check it out." I was like, "Nah, that's okay." But in actuality, I eventually, it took me a couple months, and I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So once I did that, I jumped on. He was like, "Look, they got studios, blah blah blah," and then he said, "You're the word. You can't rap with anybody in there." That right there, for anybody who is into music, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. So I had to check it out. Went in, and that right there, that's what started it. But in actuality, shout out my brother, Boss
Is
730.
he somebody that we know? Like, is your brother in here
No,
still?
no,
Is he
no,
active?
he's
Oh,
actually
okay.
he's still active, but he only comes on certain times.
Right.
But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Because I was
but
gonna
yeah,
say, what
but
if Writer's Pen's brother been amongst us this whole time and we don't even know? But I just
but he
want to
actually
see.
has a time or
He
two.
has, I guess.
But
Huh? Now that you're
yeah,
saying
he
that, we
has
just
he
don't
has a
know him.
time or two. He just doesn't say
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh,
so
sneaky.
but his whole
Okay.
point. Yeah, but his whole point was just the fact that I stopped calling him because I was in here. So
Oh
I would
yeah,
be
he
in
did
here
that on
working on
purpose.
music.
Okay.
He did it on purpose. So, it was a double edged blessing, I guess. Let's say it like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so either way, he kind of won in the end, but it still pushed me and gave me more creativity to write more. So a big shout out to Boss 730. So, it's a
Nice.
great thing, great thing.
I love
Yes.
that.
Well, that is awesome. So, being in Horizons, I know that, here at Queen's Talk, we like to take the negative gossip, flipping it into positivity. And I know being a person who does, music, rap, even create worlds, that type of stuff, they always come with a lot of challenges. What was one
Mhm.
challenge that you had to overcome to be able to achieve your goals on here? I know I'm
One
asking the
one
hard
challenge.
questions.
Oh no, these are great questions.
Oh,
You
good.
be, you
Yay.
would you would be amazed. You'd be amazed at what some people ask. So that's a great question. But one of the things that getting out of my own way and
Okay.
loving to be a creative, because a lot of times, as a creative, whether it's music, whether it's poetry, whether it's like I write for R&B, country, rap, poetry, grief poems if somebody takes a loss. So I mean, all across the board, I write. But it's one of those things where to constantly be inspired,
Mhm.
and being in here, it's one of those where you get to look at so many different things, so many people's views, and then to be able to say, you know what, no, it's okay to be a creative. Because a lot of times when you're doing something different, or you're doing something that you love, everybody's not on the same page with you because
Hmm.
you're doing something you love. A lot of times we do things with other people that are fun, but when it comes down to what we really truly love, to be able to find a network of people that you don't have to travel, because I travel on the regular, but to be able to say, you know what, I have a network and within a space where I can be stimulated, I can interact with people, and they speak your language, to be a creative. So that's one of the greatest things. But to get out of your own way and say, you know what, it's okay to just be creative and let your mind run.
That is
I love
awesome.
that.
That's definitely the type, I think, of like the type of positivity we definitely need in here too, because
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of people out there that are newer to to everything that's going to be happening, that's going to be, going on in Horizons. We're opening up our Horizon meta doors to new
Mm-hmm.
countries, new states, all that type of stuff. And,
Definitely.
to a lot of things that you see in Horizons nowadays is a lot of complications, and not complications as in glitches, although glitches are a very big pain in the meta butt. But
Mm-hmm.
in proper terms. Um, but you have people out there that don't connect well with certain things, don't open up their eyes to certain things that happen in here. The Horizons in the beginning originally was just a game. It was just um
Mm-hmm.
a virtual Facebook, to be quite frank. And now it's more above and beyond virtual Facebook. It's a virtual community and an
Yes.
empire. You can build so many things in here, and not just as in building worlds, but building relationships, building careers such as yours
Mm-hmm.
that you've made. And it's hard. It's definitely hard to start it and to keep up with it, because with everything that can happen, not just in Horizons, but in VR as a total, and even in the real world, sometimes it ports in here and messes it up a little bit. It takes a strong person to try to keep that positive mindset, and to keep moving forward, and to do the things that you do, while also trying to promote others or helping others learn the things that you already know. So it's pretty crazy what
Mm-hmm.
we all can do in here if we all help each other.
With just a quick point, the thing is, if hurt people, then what do happy people do? They
Make other
exude
people happy.
happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Exactly.
thing is, it's one where when you love creativity, I'm gonna eat, sleep, and breathe creativity. And one of the things in life, a lot of times people say failure. This is one place where failure does not exist.
Hmm.
You have time to work at things. You can go back and change things. You can revamp. You can view things a different way. And you know what? You don't have to put it out to the public, or it can be something that you just work on by yourself, or you can work with people slowly. So sometimes it's a good thing to be able to say, you know what? A lot of times when you're creating or when you're growing, you can tell somebody something and then people hold you to that.
Hmm.
And then they're looking for when are you growing? How are you growing? You're not doing this. You're not meeting this goal. But one of the things that that can bog people down. But one of the things to be able to be somewhere where you can really relax and say, you know what, I don't have to take part in saying, oh, I messed up and I
Mm-hmm.
can't fix it, or I'm able to just be able to say, okay, you know what, things are allowed to take time. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to look at it from a perspective and say, you know what, if you're not happy somewhere, go somewhere else.
Hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing. A lot of times in life we can't do that. But to be in a space where if you want to go to a party, you can go to a party. If you don't like that at the moment, then you know what, you can go to a flower garden. If you don't like that at the moment, you can go be on a yacht. But to have endless options and outlets to be able to say, you know what, I can go where
Mm-hmm.
whatever makes me happy. It's a
Exactly.
beautiful
And
thing.
and when it comes to the metaverse, I mean, really, there's more that we have in common than what divides us, right? I mean, we have a lot of shared
Very true.
experiences. A lot of us,
Hmm.
and one thing that kind of like struck a chord with what you were saying is nobody's perfect, right? And I think
Correct.
perfection is an expectation that is impossible to attain. And I think in the real world, a lot of people are trying to attain perfection, and they're trying to be this best version of themselves, and they're trying to put their best foot forward, when in actuality, in reality, we can't always be perfect. And I think
Hmm.
this space here, allows people to be genuinely themselves, right? Not worrying about being
Mhm.
Hmm.
perfect, what the public or society thinks of them. We're not
Right.
dealing with society. In fact, we're dealing with the metaverse. So there's more in common that we have than what divides us. So we all
Hmm.
understand each other's pain a little bit more. We all
Yeah.
understand each other's success a little bit more, right? I think we understand those things because we have shared experiences. I have a question though for
I
you.
love that.
Go ahead.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Absolutely.
The fact of
Absolutely.
perfection, and I learned this in here. When they say perfection, like I really think about things like that. Like, you know what? I'm a perfectionist.
Me
So
too.
if I'm writing something, I'll ball up a piece of paper and be like, okay, it was trash. But one of the things that you have to realize is that, you know what? How do you look at perfect? When I look at perfect, my definition of perfect is I don't call myself perfect. But if
Mhm.
somebody else calls you perfect, that's because you consistently provide a result. And that's one of the most amazing things that perfect that nobody care. A lot of times people don't care about what it takes to achieve something, but they do see the end goal. A lot of times
Hmm.
they don't see what you worked at to make things happen for you. They don't see the endless hours that you might put into something or your craft or what you love. But what they do see is once you figure it out and then you present something, if you do that consistently enough. So perfection is not on the fact of what you're doing in the moment. Perfection is built on the result of your consistency. Because
Absolutely.
if you drove a truck and you delivered all the time, trucks break down, there's issues that happen. But the thing is, if you
Yeah.
keep delivering on time, you're technically perfect in your track record. But a lot of times people don't see what it takes,
But you're
which
not
is
going to
the
be able to please
process of
everybody.
consistency.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Exactly.
and
Exactly how you're
the
saying. Like, there's going to
consistency,
be people who are not going to see that as perfection, that they are going to see that as
correct.
flaws. They're going to see the flaws right
Yeah,
away, you
but a
know?
lot
And
of
I
times
think
people don't see them
exactly right.
when you work
And
hard at
your
your
answer was
craft.
perfect a second ago too. Just showing up to the table as your authentic self. I mean, that's the first step. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
if you can show up. I mean, absolutely, delivering results is extremely important. But to me, what's even more important is at least being yourself throughout the process,
There
right?
you go.
Doing things that actually make you happy, like you said. You love doing
Hmm.
writing. You love, coming up with
Hmm.
lyrics and expressing your creativity in those ways. That makes sense that you're doing things like your studio and pen station and things that reflect you. There are other people who may not be doing things in here that reflect them or who they are. They may
Correct.
do it for fame or clout or other things, right? That they may feel like they're gaining
Hmm.
from doing it.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. And I think what you're saying is really, really vital for everybody out there listening is to do things that you really love. Do
Yeah.
things that you're passionate about. Be creative. Don't
Hmm.
do something because you think, oh, this is gonna hit and everybody's gonna love me.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case. You can't. No, not everybody's gonna love you. You know what I mean? So
They're
you
not.
can't operate on that level, right? You got to operate on a level of let me just do what I want to do, what I'm passionate
Yeah.
about, what I'm creative about, and those
Hmm.
who ride with you are gonna ride with you, and those who don't, they're not. And it's just
Yeah.
that's the way life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. There's
Yeah.
only one
So
you. All
absolutely,
everybody is rare. We're all a one of one of ourselves.
exactly. Now I do have a question for you though.
Let's go.
So I don't know if you know this, Lily, but every time me and Penn are together, we'll go on like a little world hopping tour. Maybe we'll be in VR chat or something. And
Oh
this man
yeah.
always keeps a paper and a pen by his side. Like literally, always a paper
Okay.
and a pen by his side.
Listen.
Anytime, Ms. Malay, can you vouch for me? He always got a pen and paper by his side everywhere he goes. And if you go into a world or anything that inspires you, you seem to write it down and you seem to automatically come up with these visions and these ideas that are just permeating in your mind, right? So, my
Correct.
question to you is what is your creative process like, right? So, we know that the first step is writing down the idea, maybe writing down something that you see or something that you hear or smell or taste, right? Your senses. What is the
Hmm.
process after that? Do you take the idea and do a pro and cons list? Do you take the idea and find people to collaborate with on it? What is your process to go from pen and paper to metaverse?
Honestly, the process changes. One of the things that for me, writing something down, I mean it. And when I say I mean it, it's something that, it doesn't like we just spoke about, it doesn't have
Mhm.
to be perfect, but I could see something and a thought could come to mind that's just a beautiful thought. And as opposed to saying, I'll keep that in my mind, I'll be able to keep that, I'll always just write it down. It may not be used for a month, a year, multiple years, but it was still something I captured that I saw that gave me a new thought, a new idea, a new vision, or a new way of looking at something. So when it
Okay.
comes to that, there's so much stuff that you accumulate. It's like being in the present dictates the future.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things. My process is like for me is yeah, write little things down. Well, I love to write, so that's, I'm actually helping myself too. But it also gives me a sense of patience to say, you know what, give yourself time.
Mhm.
Nurture your own craft. If you love to write, then take that moment. We could be speaking, and when if there was a quick break and I said something or you said something that inspired me, I would put my hand down, my left hand down, and I would sit here and write. It might be scratched across the pad, but I know the pad is to my left right now.
Mhm.
But it's one where you capture moments, and then that repetition I see in pictures. So that thought might be burned in my mind, and I might look back at it. It's almost like having a constant journal of your thoughts, and then you can put them together as you want to.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
that.
I do too.
And you think so differently from other people, which is what makes you the person that you are. Pen.
Hmm.
Really, that's why I love you. I know you got a lot of friends out here who love you, and that's what makes you so special. Is that you just think differently, And we need more people who think differently. Status quo is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you're one of those people that pushes against the status quo and thinks against the grain, which I actually respect a lot, right? Because it's easy to find somebody that's a yes person, right?
Facts.
It's harder to find somebody that is very genuine with their approach in life, and you're one of those people. So yeah,
Hmm.
I
just
appreciate
one.
that, but it
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it comes it comes with experience. I live by the
Hmm.
phrase, experience is the ultimate teacher of life. You can learn knowledge from a book. You can feel what happens to you and understand how somebody feels, be sympathetic and empathetic. But when you can
Right.
merge that all together, now you have wisdom, because not only can you talk with yourself and find solution, but you can also speak with somebody else and see through their eyes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's really awesome. And you both of you guys make it sound so easy to be able to get out there and do your thing, and it's very um heartwarming to be able to be a part of this type of conversation, to be able to listen to the things that you guys do and how you guys react and all this stuff.
Mhm.
And obviously you guys have probably have dealt with you know there's many different types of stepping stones, right?
Mhm.
You will not be successful the first time. Everyone,
Nope.
it's common. Everyone has this. There, what I always like to say is that the road to success is paved with failure, and those are
That's
some
right.
things that you definitely have to look for and to be able
Mhm.
to grow. And actually, I have a little game for you guys. Are you guys ready to
Okay.
play this game with me?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love a good
Okay.
game.
I know, and I do too, and I'm
Yes.
excited to see your guys' answers. So, this is conveniently um success or failure famous people edition. Are you guys ready for
Oh,
this?
yes. I like this game.
Okay, here we go. The first question. Guess who was a famous person who was defeated 7 times while running for political office?
Hmm. I think I know who the answer is.
Crowd, do you know? I'm calling on the lifeline. I'm calling on the people.
Okay. Let's see if anyone answers.
I I think I might know the answer. I think.
I
Can I
have
guess
no
it?
clue.
Is there? Do we have to buzz in,
Let's
or do
do
Oh
we
it.
yeah,
just say
no,
it?
you could definitely guess it. Try to guess
I
it.
want to say it's Dr. Jill Stein, the girl, the lady who runs for the Green Party every year, and she never wins, but she technically is running
Okay.
for president every time.
Okay. That's not a terrible guess.
They
That's
had her
not a
on the
terrible
Breakfast
guess.
Club, and I don't know if y'all saw that episode. Angela Rye. Did you see this episode? She was on the Breakfast Club, and Angela Rye was going through all of Jill Stein's failed elections. It was a long list, so that's why I
That
guessed
Man,
that.
look.
is
Hey,
crazy.
good answer. I have no
Okay.
clue.
You want to know the real
Yeah,
answer?
we want to know.
Abraham Lincoln.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln was defeated in 8
Wow.
different elections, and yet he
I'm way off.
persisted in succeeding in being the 16th president. Ain't that wild?
Wow. And he's one of
Never
Right?
would
our
have known.
most liter not only
Most
that,
iconic.
but one of the most iconic presidents. Literally
Mm-hmm.
one of the presidents that we could sit here today and talk about his impact that he had on on this country. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many amazing things that he did for this country that people like to this day still talk about. So just goes to
Yes.
show failure, all that failure just to get to not only success but such big impact, you know what I'm saying, on the
Mm-hmm.
world.
I think the next one is my all-time favorite one. Are you ready for this one?
Let's go.
And
Talk about it.
anyone who knows me should know the answer, so we'll see. I know some live viewers should definitely know this one. Okay, guess who
Viewers
was a
chime in.
yeah, for real. Guess who was a famous cartoonist who was told by his editor of the Kansas newspaper that it's easy to see from these sketches you're not going anywhere.
Hmm. I want to say like it's Dr. Seuss or something. Like you said,
No,
cartoon.
you're close. You're close.
Hmm.
Very
Interesting.
close.
Or like the person who did like the Calvin and Hobbes back in the day in the
I like that.
newspaper.
I like that
You
answer. I like
remember?
that answer. Look, I like that
Okay.
answer. Calvin
Okay.
House was good.
On
I'll
the
say
newspaper.
the
Remember the newspaper? That was my favorite part.
All right.
Was the
You want to
comics.
know?
the
You
man who
want
did
to?
Charlie Brown.
Okay. Okay.
Good
These are
guess.
all very good answers, but even bigger. Go bigger. Go bigger.
Substance.
Go home. Right? You ready?
Big. Oh my
Hey, that's
god.
it.
Here we go. Walt Disney.
Oh,
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
Walt Disney was told he had no talent and basically was fired from his job. He then persisted
Wow.
to go to a church. Let me tell you, this story is crazy, okay? He goes to a rundown church that is in a garage and he decides to draw a couple of the mice that were running around in the garage. That later became Mickey Mouse.
What a story. I mean,
What? Ain't that crazy?
from rags to riches. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
from
he's
a
still
garage
Disney,
with,
hello, still well
I
known.
know, crazy,
Hands
Mm-hmm.
down.
crazy. The impact.
Now,
The impact is
we
insane.
right? We have one more,
Exactly.
and I have a feeling you boys will get this one. Okay,
Okay.
so this one's gonna be pretty fun. Guess who was a
Help me out.
famous athlete who was cut from his varsity basketball team his sophomore year in high school?
It's either gotta be LeBron or Michael.
Michael Jordan.
All right, well, guess what? You got it correct. It is
Is
Michael Jordan.
yep.
Yep, he was cut from his basketball team. He then persisted to every morning get up super early, go with the coach, practice, and he then, made his team the next year and, hello, became even famous in basketball. I think one of my
Yes.
favorite quotes that he has, which
Mhm.
resonates with me because how you guys have been, explaining everything that you guys have, worked with and dealt with. One of the quotes that he basically has is that I have not sorry, he says I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 different occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I have missed and I have failed over and over again in my life and in career. And this is why I succeed. So
That's right.
this this is something that, can be taught or can be talked about in general, because not only have we all have failed, and obviously there's obviously so many famous people out there that have also failed, but there's one thing that we all have in common, and is that we never gave up. We never gave up,
Mhm.
and we kept fighting and kept persisting. And if we
So,
have the
I'm sorry. Go
teamwork,
ahead.
oh, no, you're good. If we
I'm sorry.
have the teamwork and the ability to work together and to, give off ideas, or, just support one another, we have the ability to go above and beyond
Yeah,
than the metaverse in general.
I agree.
absolutely.
Well, I ask you this. Not even a question, but one of the things that I mean, it's easy to say failed. I mean, whatever works for everybody. But for me, failed means that it's something that you quit.
Yes.
I've made a lot of mistakes, but and there's things that you know what. Sometimes, yeah, you can fail. Fail is a great word, but a lot of times, and look, pardon me, writer's pen segment. People, I love you guys, but really love words like that. But it's one of those where you know what words have meaning. So the
Yeah.
word fail, if you look it up, fail means that it's like there's no coming back from it. And a lot of times we feel a lot of times we can tell ourselves we failed. But sometimes, and I condition myself to say, you know what, look, no, you made mistakes and you have to find other ways to learn more. What is it that you don't know? But fail
Hmm.
is, and that's just my concept. It's not for anybody to take, but it is something just to think about. Fail is when you say, I give up.
Unless you're looking at my high school math test, and I'm pretty sure that's a fail on it. No, I'm just kidding.
You
And
and me
I'm
just a
both,
quick
let me
thing,
tell you.
just
quote,
messing.
great quote. One of the quotes I live by. It's a great quote you gave as well. One of the quotes I live by is, "You're the sole author of the dictionary that defines you. You are the sole
Okay.
author of the dictionary that defines you."
That's right.
That is a very
And
good
people
one
will
too.
describe you all the time, but the thing is, what are you telling yourself? Because if you don't believe in you, then nobody else will.
But I really do
Hmm.
agree with that. Failure is for those who really quit. Like, I mean,
Think about
to fail is to really have no other option, but to really persevere, through mistakes, because everything in life is a learning lesson. And I know
it.
that's
Yeah,
cliche to say, but I mean, you
it
really
is.
could learn from a lot of things and come back even stronger, and better than before.
Hmm.
That's how I
And
operate. I
I
learn
challenge
from
you
my
to this.
mistakes, and I
Mm-hmm.
and I challenge myself. Exactly. And
There it
you
is.
push yourself to new limits.
So I tell you this: if you look at look, if we look at the word fail, right? And I'll be brief, but if we look at the word fail, you know what? What if you failing at something and saying, I don't want to pay attention to that right now? You actually looked and said, you know what? Let me take the time to say, what is it that I love to do?
Hmm.
I will fail at something when I can move in purpose because I breathe this, I do this. Now, if anybody wants to have a question for yourself, ask your friends or ask yourself, what is it that people say that they admire about you that you're like, you can't answer the question? They say, how do you do that? Or what's your mindset when you do that?
Right.
That's something to ask yourself because those things that are being said, they're being said because you know what? It's something that you do. It stands
Hmm.
out. Just something to think about.
Yeah, that's really,
Yeah.
really, really good. And I love having this type of conversation, and I love, you know, hearing other
So,
people's perspectives, because you're right. Like, definitely, when you think of the word fail, you think of, someone who has given up and someone who doesn't wish to pursue anything. And there are some people out there that feel like they have failed. And that's
Hmm.
one thing that here, especially with Queen's Talk in general, and I'm sure
Mhm.
other people out there, that's the one thing that we want to make sure that people know. No, you have not
Yeah.
failed. You just need to find the right thing that you need to do. You need to find the right steps that you need to walk on and the right path that you need to go to, because that
Hmm.
one that you just took, that's just a learning curve, and now you
Mhm.
know that's not the
Mhm.
right path you need to go on. And
And
on here,
it may be that it's not your time at that moment.
Hmm.
yes,
Sometimes we
yes.
need more we need more knowledge. We might need
Patience.
more
Mm-hmm.
information somewhere else. It's a lot of things that will open doors for you. And if you're doing it for clout, for fame, hey, look, it may work, but at
You
the
know
same
who?
time, there's things to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Who just like came to mind as soon as you said that too, and like we were speaking of celebrities earlier. The person whose story I love is Jennifer Hudson for some reason, because it's like she went on American Idol, like placed like what, like ninth place, like literally not even
Mhm,
like top five or anything. Yet did not let that stop her. Like went on,
mhm,
won an Oscar for her role in Dreamgirls. Went on, became a Grammy Award winning singer. Went
mhm,
on, now has her own talk show. Like it doesn't stop. Like, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like, you cannot let one defeat be the rest of
Yeah,
your. And we were just
exactly.
talking about narrative earlier and controlling your own
Mhm,
narrative. You control that
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
narrative. If you want that defeat to define the rest of your life, that's fine. But you
mhm,
could take that defeat and you could turn it around and say, let me learn from this. What did I make? Where did I make my
mhm.
mistakes? How can I
Yeah,
improve on this? What are people saying about me?
yeah.
And you can
Mhm,
improve that way. So yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I love like
Yeah.
stories like that we were talking about, where
Yeah.
people just fail and they come back and they're like better
Yeah.
versions of themselves because
Mm-hmm.
they've
They
learned.
never gave up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Never
That
gave up
was
and
that was their
learned.
goal.
Look,
Hmm.
life is a marathon. I live my life is a marathon. Sometimes I'm running. Sometimes I might skip. Sometimes I might have to crawl. Sometimes it might look like I'm a slug and I'm like, I am going nowhere. But as long as you're moving forward, whether it's
Yeah,
by a mile or whether it's by inches, just continue to move forward, because you know
that's
what?
right.
If you stay stagnant, then nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And there's so many people out here, especially with if we're talking in the terms of VR and horizons, there are so many people out here that have the ability to be able to help the people who feel like they are failing and need that helping hand.
Yes.
um just like one of my hosts or co-hosts on here, Captain, he always says the only way I'll ever look down on someone is if I'm grabbing their hand and pulling them up. And
Yes.
that's what we need. That's the type of community that we need. We don't need the community that is, oh, you're doing it wrong, that's not right, that looks like garbage. We don't need that type. We need a type of community that's like, you're doing a good job for what you're doing, let me help you succeed more, let me help you, give you some advice, let me give you the hand to help you pull you up, so that way I
Yeah.
can also, you never know, I might need your hand too, we could be helping each other and you don't even know about it.
Right.
So that is definitely a positive aspect to look at it. And the way that you do your thing, let me tell you, I don't think you realize how many people you do help and how many people look up to the things that you do,
Yes.
because you are beyond an amazing creator, beyond an amazing artist. That the things that you do and your stories that you have told here specifically and told people, outside of here, um, you have been a light in someone's dark shadow. So the things that you do, keep up the good work. You are doing awesome, and that is one of the reasons why we wanted
I
you here
appreciate
on
it.
Queen's Talk, because you
I
absolutely do
appreciate it.
flip the switch on negative gossip and you bring out the positive in everyone. So I want to say thank you so much for being a
No
part of Queen's
problem.
Talk. I am so happy to get to know you, and I would love to get to know you even more. Maybe bring in some other awesome artists that have, some awesome rapping skills. Maybe we can, make a new intro to Queen's Talk with your guys' awesome skills.
Yes.
Maybe we can put something
Definitely.
together. I would
You gotta come
die.
to Squares to see this man perform live.
I know.
Hey.
I
Yeah.
definitely, you don't know how bad I've been trying to go there and see every single time I have tried in the past to go to see anything, it's always been, oh, too full, new session. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's the
It's
one thing
always,
that
it's
my feedback to
crazy.
Meta, if you're watching, yo, we need, some bigger rooms
That'd
to
be
handle it.
nice.
That'd be nice. Absolutely.
Yes. But before we do end the night, I do want to ask, while we were talking, there was one specific world that you wanted to get out there and to promote. What was that one world that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, well, I tell you this. Quick segment. When it comes to it, well, just know like a lot of times when it comes to therapy, there is a world coming out and it's going to be called MDT. MDT is an acronym for modern day tattoo, aka modern day therapy.
Mm,
So a lot of times, you know what, we move in purpose. So using your gift, I write, but when I write for people, I write for moments, I write for segments. So the thing is, if you're gonna use your gift, use it to uplift. So a tattoo, a lot of times we wear scars, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's, you know, what we deal with, let alone it could be just something happy. But to have someone that can scribe for your feeling, and then you can be the judge of it and take a look at it. And that way, even if it's a bad day, don't we wear what we feel?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could be having a anxiety day, a depression day. And you know what? If you could put on clothing that could exemplify you, and then somebody could look at you and say, I get that feeling. Your day could be trash, but somebody could look at you and see on your chest something that's exemplified and say, where did you get that? Damn money. We're talking about somebody you feel good in that moment because somebody said they relate to you. That's the therapy in things. And then you
You're
know
not
what?
alone.
And exactly, because sometimes we feel like we're alone with whatever we may be
Mm-hmm.
going through, but articulate it in the right way. Now, at the end of the day, what happens? What do? We take the shirt off, we wash our clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get up the next day and we put on another thing, another
Mm-hmm.
thought, another feeling, another job, another mask, another face, another time, all of these things. So the thing is being able to say, this is therapeutic. So it doesn't last forever. And that's where the modern day tattoo, because we wear what we feel, especially when your heart is involved. So modern day therapy is reminding ourselves that, you know what, it doesn't last forever. We wash clothes and we can put on, if it does happen again, we can actually put that on again and say, you know what, it exemplifies. So it takes a village to help each other.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome. That is definitely a awesome, awesome world. I can't wait to go.
It's gonna be
Just
dope.
how you, I know it's gonna be awesome. And honestly, that sounds like a very awesome song that I feel like would be great to put together. Because a lot of people relate, they don't just relate to, people talking to them or communicating in general. A lot of people
Mhm.
also relate to listening to music, and that is some things that people,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
could really connect with. And especially, with how you just articulated that, I see why you are who you are, because damn. um
Exactly.
he got the
Only Penn could
words,
come up with
okay.
these ideas, literally.
Yes, it
Exactly.
has been such a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for having you as an awesome co-host and
Aw.
being a part of it. I am so
Anytime.
blessed to have you guys here. I am so excited, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what happens in the future. Let's get together. I can't rap for Bullpucky. I cannot rap, but I
You don't have
will
to be able to
I
rap.
will be happy. I will be happy to make a meta music video for you, and I will get an awesome team. I know who can help. The Cinemata Films family,
Trust me.
Horizon World's first ever production company in Horizons. They would be a good choice, definitely good choice for some
Can I have a
music
quick moment?
videos. Yeah,
First off,
yeah.
Miss Queen Lily, how are you, Queen?
Yes.
Oh,
Wait, let me do this.
I'm
first.
blessed.
How are you, Queen?
Oh, thank you.
First time you
yes.
see it like that, yeah, that's nice.
Yes,
Yes.
that's the first time
Sherwin,
anyone
as
ever.
always, it's a
Yeah,
sure win with
anytime.
Sherwin. But
Hey.
it's like seriously, one of the things that it's like, look, it's not about yourself. It's about the people because we're all a part of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might feel your pain. Somebody might understand you. You don't need everybody. Shout out to Cinematic Films. Big facts. Like I tell you, how much time do we have? I'll make it brief.
Go for it. Just go for it.
Okay. Well, just to say, like, one of the things that you know what, look, you are the company you keep.
Yes.
First, I
Mhm.
can say, Miss Malik, great friend, great talent. But I'll let you guys, that's one
Yes.
person you might want to interview. Also, Cinematic Films,
Yes.
CMD to God, amazing guy. Barcode, legendary people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many people that are impactful. It could be Nello, it could be Nemo Dollars. There's names that go on. It could be Victor 3000. There's so many people. So many people. And if I forgot anybody's name, trust me, look, if you can take 3,400, heck, I can sit here and do that one.
Yeah.
But it's one
yeah.
of those where it's an amazing thing where you know what? You are the company you keep.
Yes.
And what you exude,
Exactly.
it comes through you.
Yes. Yes.
And shout out
Exactly.
Diva.
Yes, Miss Diva. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
She's doing awesome. Well, guys, it is unfortunately that time of night where we have to end it. Super, super sad. But before we do, let's have some fun with it. Okay. Here we go. Mr. Writer's Pen, where can people come and find you if they want to talk to you?
You want to find me, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch me at WritersPen _VR, spelled grammatically correct on Instagram. WRITERSPEN _VR. WRITERSPEN _VR. Matter of fact, you can always ask around, ask a friend, talk to Lily. Great people. Ask Sherwin. Look, the thing is, we're only as big as the people that we're around. So when I tell you, you can always find me on Instagram. Look, if I can help out in any way, please do ask. If I can't help, I will say that. But it takes a village, and I'm humbled and thank you. But we're all we have.
That's right.
That is so true. If I can get these buttons to work. Woo! All right, Mr. Sherwin, where can people come find you if they want to reach out to you?
Absolutely. Y'all know me, Sherwin _VR on Instagram. You can find me on Horizons. I'll be in VR chat a lot. If you guys ever pop in there, say hi. And make sure y'all check out Horizon Squares. We're on season break right now. Season 3 is coming in a few weeks. So stay tuned. You can follow Horizon Squares on Instagram as well and stay tuned. But we will be back for season 3. So keep a lookout.
Awesome.
Pen will probably be there too. So, you know, keep your eyes
Most
out.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll have
And
to
be
come
on the
visit.
lookout.
Heck yeah, that'll be awesome.
And be on the lookout. Freestyle Fridays, random topics, cinematic
be
films.
There we go. Yes, and I am Miss Queen. You can find me on Instagram, or you can find me also on 2 of my YouTube channels, the Queen's Talk Gossip Podcast, where we live stream. Thank you all of our live streamers. We are so awesomely blessed to have you there. as well as the Queen Royalty Productions YouTube, where I actually go and promote worlds. I record them and put them out there, so I will definitely be taking a look at the world that you will be creating and putting out there. Once it's complete, let me know, and I will go there and do a promotional video for you for that world.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. Yes.
There's never no pressure. I don't stress it, I finesse it.
Yes. But guys, again, thank you so much for being a part of Queen's Talk Gossip for tonight. I am so blessed to have you. And my season 2 finale is actually coming up, and I would love to have all of my awesome artists be back on the show to do maybe an awesome performance, and maybe I might reach out to you and a couple other people to see if we can get something put together, but that would be so cool. And my controllers are glitching, so please ignore the fact that I'm
Me
dancing
too.
right now.
Sorry, I'm like, I was sitting here and I don't know how I got over here, but we'll figure this out later.
This is what happens when you have 2 broken controllers. Am I right? Let me tell you.
No.
But thank you all so much for coming, and let's just do some little announcements before we end.
Are you looking to reach a sophisticated audience eager for the latest royal news and gossip? Partner with Queen's Talk Gossip, the premier podcast covering all things regal. With our dedicated listenership of royal enthusiasts, your brand will reign supreme. Contact us now to discuss sponsorship opportunities fit for royalties. Thank you for joining us today here at
Thank
QT
you all
Gossip
for joining
Podcast
us.
for the
We will
best
see you
of
next
the
week.
best info around. Join us again every Thursday at 8 p.m. EST or watch our live stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay.
And remember, as we
job,
close
great
the
job.
mic, open your mind to new horizons and the door to countless
I'm gonna have to
possibilities.
skedaddle out of here. 'cause,
Until next time,
Okay.
I
keep
will see you.
chasing
I will
your
see you.
dreams.
Thank you again.
Yes, I'll talk to you later.
Yes. Me and you will definitely connect. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.